Hello everyone, welcome here. Today, we're going to play some Timberborn. And I clicked install game like a couple minutes after I clicked start stream, so all these settings are way off, including the volume. There we go, that's much better. Anyway, let's turn the music down a little bit more. Set master volume back to 100% for now. Okay. I do not want to mute when minimized. Sure, you can have your analytics. I'll tell you what do I call it? Unlimited zoom is probably a good idea. Guess if I change my mind, I can always change that later. I have a very expensive graphics card. We might as well use all of it. Okay. I'm at disable tutorial because I played this game of Timer 3. And let's go ahead and start a new game. Still refusing to put down the leagues and get some decent sleep? Yep. I did put down leagues long enough to play this tonight, though, so... we're definitely doing Iron Teeth, because Folktales suck. Well, they don't. They're just more boring than Iron Teeth. In my opinion. Unconventional maps, huh? That's a new category. Good old diorama, which is very, very tiny. It's like one of the smallest maps you can make, or smallest maps you can have. I think it is the smallest map in the game by default. Although this one's not much larger. Well, it's quite literally twice as large, I guess, but... It'd be an interesting map for Steam Deck. This one's all about aquifers and beaver engineering. This one looks like it's got lots of tunnels. That could be very interesting. Full of small irrigating enclaves. Okay. It's probably got the explosive stuff. We might do this pressure one. Look at these. Let's look at more of the conventional ones. Okay, that one doesn't look very interesting, honestly. I've played this map before. Matter of fact, the last time we streamed this, we played on this map. Although it's probably changed a little, what with the new updates. Yeah, there's like an aquifer over there now that wasn't there before. Some sort. A few other little details are different. Okay. This one's kind of, whatever. That one's rather small. We're not going to play any of the beginner-friendly ones because, meh. Yeah. Oasis is, it looks like very similar to Pressure. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Let's take a look at this one. Also, there's custom maps that you can download from, I think, the workshop. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to play normal difficulty because I'm not completely insane. And Bolt has been killed because memory. Yeah, that's fine. You do that. What would I like to call my settlement? Oh, let's see. Let's go very boring with that. Alright, let's have a look around, see what we're dealing with here. Okay. We've got a natural bridge over the river here. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. There are extensive underground caves, some of which are full of water. And then above them, okay, there's entrances to these caves that lead out into various channels and holes. And I bet that if you are able to fill some of these upper areas with water, it'll fill everything else under lower and will create interesting irrigated areas and such like. Okay, where is the actual water sources we're dealing with? Okay, there's a water seep. There's a bad water seep. 2 of them. Unstable core that'll blow open a big old hole if anybody gets close to it. Okay. So if anybody gets down into this cave and disturbs that core, kaboom. It'll blow up a large hole and let bad water through. Yeah, it'll blow this dam out, this blockage, and blow this wall open. There's the water sources, I think, that are supplying our main town. So that would let bad water straight into our main water source. Similarly, here's blockages that lead into a bad water filled tunnel. Okay. So it would be pretty easy to contaminate our water source by uncareful digging. Yeah, okay, so here's our main water source. And that's supplying over here, which is our little pond around our place. Okay, getting... Ooh. Okay, bad water's coming up there. We dare not get anywhere close to that core. It will let bad water flow down into our... Man, these unstable cores all over the place are... Yeah. Okay, I don't remember exactly how unstable cores work. I read about them in the patch notes, and I don't remember if they just explode randomly at some future point. Or, which would be very bad for us, we'd have to plan like hell for that. Or if they explode if you disturb them. I better find out. Because if I go into this thinking it's just disturb and it turns out to be... let's see. Timberborn. Unstable core. Okay. How exactly do they work? Doesn't this place have a wiki? There we go. Timberborn wiki. Search. For some reason the unstable core page didn't come up when I searched for it. Okay. They run on unknown timers that inevitably turn them from a dormant state into a countdown state. Each core's timer has its own duration and onset delay. Okay. So supposedly, at some point, these cores will just spontaneously activate, and then we'll have 10 days of warning to prepare ourselves. So, we better start preemptively getting ready to deal with these problems. That leads to a bigger issue, though. Namely, water. Okay, like right here, there's a core. If that blows this open, that'll open the underground to the exterior, and we could lose water pressure. If this core and this core go, we have to be prepared because it'll open this up. And that's deep underground. Getting down into there to wall that back off. This is the only reasonable entrance. Okay, so protecting our water source. Non-trivial. Okay, there's another seep here, but it looks like it's a bad water one. Yeah, bad water source. Okay, if this blows, contaminates that water. If this blows, does it do anything? Yes. Okay, both of those have to blow to contaminate the water from that direction. So it looks like most of our main underground contamination sources are 2 cores away from being an issue. Okay, there's an underground ruin. We'll need that later. Is that the only underground ruin on the whole map? No, there's one over here too. One over there. Okay, we've got like 3, 4 underground ruins. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we better start. We're thinking about containing bad water at the sources as fast as possible. If this water seep is currently being contaminated, from where? There's water bubbling out of here under pressure. Is that it? Where's that water coming from? Okay, more water's bubbling out of there. Okay. So bad water is bubbling out of this source, and it's pushing up from below through these caves to surface here and here. So if I went and managed to cap this source somehow, or otherwise divert it ahead of those areas, which I could do by digging in here somewhere and letting it out through this drain. Then we could get ahead of both of those. Okay, anyway, that's enough worrying about that. For now, we got to get the villagers, little village going here. Okay, first things first. I need to cut trees. All of them. Okay. Actually, not all of them. We'll leave all the younger ones behind deliberately. Because we're going to need all the wood we can get our hands on until we can get the forester. Okay. I don't remember the soundtrack for this game. I really should have just marked the mature trees instead. So technically I'm not, when you mark out areas to cut, you're not marking individual trees, you're marking the area. And so if a tree grows in that area later, they'll go cut it. Which is usually exactly what you want. But like now, I want them to cut individual specific trees. Namely the large full-grown ones. And I want them to leave the tiles that don't have trees alone, so that if a tree happens to spread onto that tile, which is something that they will naturally do very slowly before they get around to cutting it, we could possibly get some more trees out of the deal. Eventually we'll have a building we can build that will auto plant trees, but we don't have that yet. Alright, I think that's more or less okay. Now, structures. We need a lumberjack flag. Build 2 of those for now. I'll probably want a 3rd, actually. And then we need storage. A large log pile. We'll stick that, like, right there, I guess, for now. And we want a water pump. Like so. We'll likely need more than 1 water pump, but that's fine. Okay, next thing's next. We're going to need food. So we need a farmhouse. We'll go with 1 for now. And then I believe kohlrabi is the iron teeth version of the carrot, aka the basic food you can eat without anything special. And that should get us started. This map is going to be so interesting to try to work around, I think. But it is priority 1, securing a safe source of consistent water. I need to put a dam in so we can keep some of this for later, which means I need to order that built as soon as possible. Let's put it right here, just downstream of the natural bridge. Okay, another thing we need right now, we need some gatherer flags. I'll do 2 of those. That's probably too many. Ha ha ha. But okay, you will store logs. And we need an inventor right away, because we need to get cranking on unlocking the forester as soon as possible. And for the forester, we're going to need some planks. So that's another priority. Another thing we're going to need right off the bat is small tanks of water. Fortunately, I didn't misplace anything, but I placed some things in a way that are could make this a little annoying. Okay. We'll put 1 there for now. Okay, I don't want to build too much too fast, because reasons. Okay. That, and we need the good old beaver breeding pod. We'll stick that over there in the corner. Keep our population up. Okay, farmhouse. Prioritize action plant, that's good. Okay. We've got a little bit of food, so we're not going to starve to death instantly. Got a few logs here and there. There are no work vacancies, there are no unemployed beavers, which means actually we need more beavers, because there are definitely going to be vacancies here in a second once some of these structures finish building. But anyway, we're getting a crop in, so that's good. I probably should plant more crops when we can. Okay, look, we need this tank to be built yesterday, preferably. Also, this is high priority work. Keep that pump going. Ideally, I'll build a little platform around this so I can put pumps pumping directly out of the deep part here. Because that way we'll be able to pump even during a drought. Yeah. Okay, we have a water tank finally. I really need a second water pump. Soon. We'll put it over there for now. all this stuff is very temporary. Oops. Let's see, what am I looking for? There we go. Also, we need to get that breeding pod going so that they can get more baby beavers before the current lot of adults start dying of old age. Okay, excellent. Now, you may notice most of the trees you have available are gone already. Yeah. That's gonna be a problem. Okay. Let's go mark all the adult trees that have grown up since we unmarked them. Okay, we definitely need more than just 2 small tanks of water, but well, we'll work on that problem in a bit. I'm going to build a dam across here. Not because I actually want a dam there, but because I want access to this side of the river and its delicious wood resources before we run out of logs. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure all the adult trees are being cut. Ideally, I'd leave a few behind so that they could spread young trees around them, but this place is probably not going to end up being trees in the long term. Purely because I need the space for other things. Oh, I need to build another storage warehouse. Let's put that over here for now. Damn it, game. There. Okay, you will be water. You will be kohlrabi. Okay. Now. This will all be handled in a bit. You can be paused. 1 gatherer's flag should be plenty for that for now. Okay. I'm going to order the planting of a bit more kohlrabi. We'll probably need it. Let's continue deleting the forest over here. Alright, anyway. Got an inventor up and running. That's amazing. It's going to take a while to get enough points to buy anything we actually care about. I do need to get a industrial lumber mill. What kind of power sources do we have this early? Just a compact water wheel? Large power wheel? Okay. Compact water wheel. We should be able to just run downstream of the dam right here. Yeah, it won't produce a whole lot, but it'll produce some. And then we need a industrial lumber mill there to make some planks. Now leave workers at 2 for now. Okay. We've got a decent amount of logs in storage, so that's good. I don't want to delete these, like 3 trees or 4 trees that are blocking the path if I can avoid it. Because wood is critical. But anyway. Hello, Bakery, hello. Well, come here. Okay, water wheels up. We'll have our planks soon. Yeah, we definitely need more water storage. Let's go ahead and put... Oh, damn it, I should not have put this here. I should have left that room for water storage. We'll put some there. And we'll put some over there by this pump. Set all of these to water. Boom. Okay. I just can mark those. They'll cut them as soon as they grow up that way. Okay. Yeah, once we get these out of the way. That will solve a lot of our issues. Okay, this is up and running. Hell yes, we have planks now. Map's good map, but to start, cannon will overflow with bad water if you don't focus on diverting it early. Yeah, I noticed that. I was looking at all the various exciting ways it could get contaminated. And that is priority 1. Speaking of priority 1, do I go straight for stairs? Probably. Stairs and basic platforms are of vital importance. But is there anything more important right away? Ooh, tubeways. I forgot these existed. These are new since the last time I played. Gate, that's new. All the metal platforms and bridges were there before, though. What else is new? Throttling valve? Fill valve? Okay. Oh, and since water pressure is a thing now, you can fill from the bottom. That's interesting. Irrigation barrier, yeah, that's old. Impermeable floor is sort of new. Okay, I don't think we're going to have to worry about food for now. Oh, and a forester. That's what I need first. No way, no how are we picking anything but forester with our first science points. I was specifically talking about how, oh yeah, we need a forester really badly. And then I almost don't pick it. Because I'm smart. Do I put the first forester right here? And then we have this whole area over here be all trees? I think so. And then we can plant some trees down there too later. Yeah. This one up here. That one won't be too hard to deal with because it'll just flow out down here. I don't remember if these are set off or these are programmed to go off at specific times by the map maker, or if they're completely random. It might be that they're specifically sequenced by the map maker. To some degree, at least. I don't know. Anyway, that one's relatively easy. We just break these blockages and it'll flow downstream. Although ideally we would block it off to prevent it from being an issue at all ever. Ideally what we do about that one is block this off somehow. But that's going to require some serious digging to get down there to seal it. Okay, this is a dry tunnel. How long it remains a dry tunnel is a different story. But it's accessible to the surface here. That doesn't get us anywhere useful though, unfortunately. So yeah, we'd have to sink a shaft right here to block that bad water source off, or otherwise divert it into someplace that'll take it off the map, like over here. If we dug out this section here and just let it flow into this basin and off the map, that would solve a lot of our potential future issues, because it would block this seep and this seep. And those are both big ones. So that's probably our first priority, is to figure out a way to get rid of this bad water source over here. Just blocking it is probably faster and likely easier, but also, yeah. Let's see, how many different possible ways can that particular one screw us? Okay. So there is a natural blockage right there. If that water blockage ever was to be removed, that would be a serious issue, because it would dump straight in on top of our, what do I call it? On top of our main water source. However, I don't see any explosives that can blow up that blockage, so it's purely a matter of we would have to remove that blockage. Which probably we would want to remove this blockage later, when we have solved some of our bad water problems, so we can fill these channels with good water. Yeah, anyway. That is a future problem. A not too distant future problem, but a future problem. Okay. Now, pine grows quickly, provides a decent amount of wood. Birch grows very quickly, provides nothing for wood. Oak grows very slowly and provides amazing wood. But I think we're just going to plant a pine forest right here for now. And we're going to mark said pine forest for cutting. get rid of the last of these trees out here. Boom. There we go. You... I am going to mark for destruction. Which is a bit of a waste, but oh well. Drought approaching. We do have a dam, so we should be good for this first drought. This dam down here. This dam is solely so we can get over to these delicious trees. Okay. So we have infinite trees available soon. We have not enough food. Ooh. Well, we should probably get another breeding pod up. How many beavers do I have right now? Not enough. Okay, let's get another breeding pod. I need to start building housing soon. I think we'll jam the housing over in this corner for now. Oh, yep. Boom, that's right. Okay, that'll get us some more beavers down this way more quickly. Should improve things a little. This probably is not enough food for the amount of beavers we have right now. It's not an emergency. We just don't have enough population to haul right now. Is part of it too. We're definitely gonna need a second barracks. I need to get beaver happiness up. Because that'll make beavers live longer. Where's some quick and dirty happiness bullshit we can do? We drop a campfire over there. How many logs do we currently have? 0. Okay. Alright, well you guys can stop working here for now. I need you to work elsewhere. Namely building that dam. And other things. Except we can't build the dam because we don't have logs. Damn it. Okay. This is a emergency priority workplace. We do have a couple more trees we can cut over here. I'll put in one lumberjack flag over here. They'll go cut that log. We're not wasting anything on that yet, are we? No, no. Okay, good. How many logs do we need to finish this? A bunch. Alright, well that's minorly unfortunate. Oh well. You stop working there. Okay. Now. I might have to tear some stuff down to get enough logs to build that dam. Because these are like 2 logs. Okay, actually, here, you know what? I am going to cancel this, which will get the logs back, which will get us enough to get over there. There we go. Then we'll build a forester out here after we've got that up. Okay, for now I'm going to pause these construction sites because they're too expensive to build at the moment. Nothing to do in range. Yeah, I know. Stop whining. Actually, wait, there is something for you to do in range. Boom. Okay. Now. Damn it. Will you lazy bastards haul the last couple logs over here? Don't build that right now. Okay, we got 19 logs there. That should be as many as we had available. So we just need to wait for one of these trees to grow up. Which will happen eventually. Yeah. I could remove something else if I want to head up, but we're not doing that. Let's put the forester back there. Let him put the planks back in it. Sure, why not? There we go. There's nothing else I want to build until... Okay. Let's go ahead and order those cut as soon as we're able. And then they'll finish that dam and we'll be over on this side and have wood again. Alright, that was a minor planning bobble, but drought's over. We suffered no ill effects because I knew how to build a dam. First drought. Wouldn't expect anything else. Now, can you please grow a little faster? Get a couple more days. Alright, we are going to have to unlock the levees soon. I don't want to delete those blockages yet. How much space are you going to blow up? Quite a lot. Oh well. 70%. Let's pause that for now. To make sure they absolutely do not put the log in the wrong place. Because if they put logs into here, we'll have to remove it again and go through the whole rigmarole of that stuff. But okay. As soon as they cut either of these trees down, we'll have that dam up. I always run into wood problems. Every single time. I'm really surprised they make you pay science points for the forester, considering how incredibly important it is to your early game. Because if you forget to build a forester, you can break your whole settlement. Because you'll be you have cut all the trees nearby. Maybe even cut a few of the trees that are less conveniently located. And then you're just kind of screwed. No trees, no wood. Time to start over. Thankfully, we don't have that problem here. And thankfully, I do think you get most, if not all, the resources. You definitely get all the resources back if it's not fully built. But I'm not sure if you get them all back if it is fully built. So hopefully... hopefully you built at least a little bit of science capability. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and unlock the levy that we're going to need. Boom. We're not going to build any of those just yet. And the next thing to unlock is the stairs, which we have the points for as well. And the next thing after the stairs is the basic platform, which we don't have the points for yet, but we will soon. And that, with a better supply of wood, will let us build platforms around the center. And then we can put our deep water pumps so they pump straight out of the center hole, which will be quite useful. Come on, tree, hurry up. 97%? 98%? $99%? Boom. It has become the last, or well, it'll become the last log in a second here, that we need to build the dam. There we go, finally. We have trees again. Unpause forester construction. Okay. That should improve the situation considerably. Now, I believe I'm going to go ahead and add a second woodcutting flag now. And then we need to focus more on well-being. I'm going to put a tooth grindstone over here somewhere. Yeah, we'll worry about that when the problem arises. Okay, Forester's built, campfire's next, and the second breeding pod. Okay, we've got more pines being planted. That solves a lot of our issues. Oh, he's got chipped teeth. Okay. Tooth grindstone time. There we go. Fix up his little tooth problem. Our average well-being is not great, but it's at least above 0. With the addition of the campfire, that should improve a bit. Yeah, once we get shelter, happiness will improve a lot. We have quite a bit of campfire coverage already. Okay, actually. That's fine. But yeah, we need to get shelter up next. It's going to take a lot of logs to afford to build those two, but... well, it needs to be done. An impenetrable obstacle that blocks irrigation and contamination. Difficult to demolish and can injure those who attempt it. Yeah, well, we'll have to demolish that eventually, but for now we don't have to. Let's go ahead and continue ordering these to be cut down. Get all the trees in here, out of there. Okay. I'm probably going to order more trees planted in this area, but not pines. We're probably going to order like oaks or something planted in there as a rainy day tree fund. Okay. Yeah, as soon as those houses are done, then we need to start putting serious thought into water stuff. Okay. Well-being, high score of 5, because we got some beavers sleeping in houses now. This one's almost done. Next up, let's get a warehouse over here. I keep trying to use Q and E to rotate buildings, and that rotates the camera instead. And I know perfectly well what the button is to rotate a building. I just keep pressing the wrong one. Brain not work so good sometimes. This can be for planks. Wait. Wrong building type for planks. They use the industrial piles. Let's use a small industrial pile. The large industrial pile stores 180. We don't need that many planks just yet. Boom. Okay, you store planks. I mean, it's probably a bad idea using the small one. The small one's kind of useless, but it'll help keep our wood consumption to make planks under control. Okay. Everybody's sleeping. We have a few extra. That's good. We should be able to unlock the platform now. These are not particularly cheap, unfortunately. But this is going to be my anti-drought water plan. For now, let's hold off on that. We still don't have the whole pine area reseeded. So I'm going to hold off on ordering any oaks, actually. No, let's go ahead and order oaks planted right now. Because the sooner we get oaks in, the better. They're going to be the strategic wood reserve. They're going to take a long time to grow, but when we need wood fast, you order oaks cut, and then you get 8 per cut. It's real good. Feeling understaffed. Who? You. There's nobody working, collecting... Okay. Well, that'll fix itself after a bit, hopefully. So breeding pods should, with reasonable happiness, keep like, 16 or so beavers around. Our happiness is not that high, so they won't keep quite that many beavers around. If I go look at well-being bonuses, where does it say what the well-being... Did they never fix the issue that it doesn't tell you on the screen what well-being does? You have to look at an individual beaver. Okay, well-being 6, we get no life expectancy. At well-being 7, we get 20% more life expectancy. So it's very important we get at least one more well-being as soon as we can. To that point, we need to get down some more well-being stuff. What do I have that'd be easy and fast? Rooftop terraces probably, but they have to go on top of another building. This is not going to be terribly cheap. But it's pretty reasonable. Okay. We can add a shrub to the corner here, and that'll make everybody a little happier. So I think we'll do that too. And we could unlock a roof, which would make everybody a little bit happier. But actually here. Cancel the shrub. Let's put the shrub over here between the buildings. Because that'll make everybody in both buildings happy. Yeah, there we go. Exactly what you just said, Baker. All right. Connect path to the steps. That would be a good idea as well, yes. For some reason I thought I already did that. Okay, we got a bunch of oaks planted. That's good. We've used up all of our planks, unsurprisingly, considering we're not storing very many of them. Let's run that in there. Order more oaks planted. I think we'll run that path like that. Then we can split this into 3 areas for tree planting. Okay. We need to upgrade to a better tier of food as soon as we can. I should probably plant, since this is right here, what I should do is what I was half planning already. Do like that. And then we can plant some mangroves down here. Gotta be careful about this though. Make sure we leave the area around here for our future water expansion. And the paths in and out. The sooner we get the mangroves down, the sooner they can start producing the fruit that we're not going to gather for a while. Okay. I can't remember if normal... Okay, we need to gather a flag for mangrove fruits. That's fine, we can do that. That's easy. Okay. Oaks are mostly planted. Our first batch of pines is going to be coming along before long. Okay. Build gates and levees around the water entrance for when the bad tide comes. That is going to happen soon, TM. Yeah. I need to buy the floodgate for that. So once we get the points for that, it'll happen. What I'm going to do is I'll build a box around this. And then we're going to put platforms around it. And we're going to have 4 water pumps sucking directly out of the hole. At least. Anyway, we'll have several water pumps sucking directly out of the hole. And then there will be at least some of these that'll... Actually, how large is this hole? Is it actually 3x3? Yeah. So we can probably just put 2... Well, we could easily put 2 water pumps on a side and still have a middle entrance on each side. Okay. Well, we'll set the corners up so we can put a pump on each corner, is the plan then. And then the middle tiles will be left with a water exit that we can leave open most of the time and turn off for bad tide. Except we're going to have a way to flush the bad tide out. Because I don't think this has another exit, does it? Currently, I think all the water that's produced down here exits at us. And that is mostly a good thing. Except when we get a bad tide, it's gonna fill that whole area with bad water, and we'll have an issue. Wait, why'd the water go down? Oh, the drought, that's why. I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, I'm not thinking. During bad tide, I guess we'll just cap it off and we're gonna need another exit. Which means problems. Yeah, I forgot we were in a drought for a moment. Is there a way we can break into that easily, not too far away, and let water out if we want to? Over here is the closest, I think. If this one blows, that's great. It'd be really annoying to get workers over there. But we totally can do that. We can at least protect our little bit of water here from getting contaminated. But to flush it back out is going to be an issue. Yeah, we need to get over to here. I don't care if that blows up or not. Matter of fact, it'd be ideal if it did. And then we just put a dam on the entrance and call it a day. Yeah, we've got a lot of situations. It isn't connected to district center by paths. Oh, that stairs isn't built, that's why. Okay. There we go. That should get us consistently higher happiness. The shrub helped a lot. This should get us to like 8 or 9. So that's good. Okay, how the hell do we get over here in a reasonable amount of time? There to there. Platforms across there, platforms across here. Path. Stairs down, platforms. Stairs up, stairs down, stairs down. Over here we can put in a dam. Break this blockage open. Okay, that'll be the bad tide project. Once a bad tide starts, that's our priority. Let's go ahead and get a... just a plain old boring floodgate. Technically, we don't even really need to build... If we break this open over here... Okay. There's a really dumb thing we could do here. We could surround this with levees and put just like valves in the side. And then we could build an aqueduct above everything, just out to this one of the sides of the other, and dump everything out that way. And let water pressure build the whole column and dump out. There's probably other holes that would start squeezing out through, though. I'd have to look. Yeah, like if we tried to build up too high, water would start squeezing out there. Which actually would kind of be a good thing. If we could seal this, cap this off, then the water would squeeze out over here and flow around. It'd be kind of cool. We could irrigate that whole area that way. A bit tempting. Yeah, we can't build levees out over top of that. We could use platforms and impermeable floor, I think. To seal it. Yeah, it's an idea. It's an idea. But yeah, I need to be able to open this up because it's the lowest level drain on the map, and we need to be able to drain that whole water channel during a bad tide. But I don't know if that's going to actually work completely because this is only 2 wide. I might need a larger drain. Like, this is not a very high throughput drain over there. This is a much better drain. It's much closer. But also, it's right in the middle of a place where bad water flows all the time. Well, let's start building a path over there for when things go to shit, so we have it available. That's gonna take a while to get over there. Thankfully, we don't have district distance limits anymore. I can only imagine having to build a whole damn district over there, purely for the purpose of bad tide engineering. Let me think. We can do that. No. Yes. Boom. Then we need to get over to there. Okay. Obviously, getting anyone over here to actually build anything is going to be interesting. Will take multiple beaver lifetimes to make their way over this to this way. They should be able to build this from above, if I remember correctly. I'd rather have the double platform, but we don't have that, nor can we afford it just yet. Okay, platforms across there. Now, what we need to do is break these open and put a valve in there. Okay, so the floodgate is the good old... I think the... Isn't there like a spillway building or something that's specifically designed for this kind of thing? Like the throttling valve may be the right choice. Or the fill valve. The fill valve is a lot cheaper, but we definitely cannot afford it. It requires metal. So I might just have to put floodgates right there in those 2 tiles. And that should work. One way or another we'll have to break open those. Okay. Let's go ahead and mark these for deletion whenever we get beavers over there, which is going to take a while. Got rid of that in the last update and replaced it with the fill and throttling valves. Okay. I assume the fill valve is pretty much what you want anyway. Throttling valve would be very useful for making it that you just let a little trickle out of an aqueduct into somewhere. Enough to keep it filled. Because I could definitely see building an aqueduct across something and then having periodic little irrigation channels that are drawing a tiny fraction of the amount of water you would normally let out of a dam. Just a trickle. Just enough to fill the irrigation channels up and keep them flowing slowly. Put dams on the far end to keep them full and just have a little bit flow out. Yeah, they're making pretty far over here already. Okay. We'll just ignore that for now. And we're getting a good amount of kohlrabi finally stored. Logs stored. That's good. Everybody... Yeah, we have 3 empty beds. So that's still good. Okay. Lovely. Next up. 2 beavers don't have houses. Well, that sounds like a job for an inventor. You get to work. Oops. Okay, you go away. I need the floodgate, so let's go ahead and unlock that. Okay. And then we would take our water pumps and they would sit like right here. Right there. And so on. Put them in like that. I think that's wrong, actually. Yeah. They need to be outward. Okay. Like that. Boom. Those will all be set to 0 until such time as they need to be closed. Yeah. Yeah, but you can always pause, change it. I like the way this looks better, though. And that's what matters. And to be clear, if we don't open the bottom side, if we close these floodgates and don't open the bottom channel over there, then this will absolutely overflow. And it might overflow anyway. Because if you look at our water source, it's 3 wide. So that might not drain fast enough. Having only 2 wide down here. But I hope it'll be enough, and I guess we'll see. I'm going to set the priority on this to low. Because I'd rather they worked on this out here first. Because this is actually more important. Because even if this opens, it should be enough. Put a levee path, redirect bad water to where the water wheel is? Could. I don't want to, though. I'd rather handle it other ways, because I like the way this looks, and I don't want to mess it up. Yes, that is a bad reason for doing it, but in a true emergency, I can just rip this side out and put in some emergency dams, but hopefully we won't have to do that. Hopefully I can just hopefully I can just close this up to contain the water around this so we don't lose it. And then open this downside up. Let it flow, and hopefully it'll lower the water level in the center here. If that happens, then we know we're good for bad tide. Doing a lot of hoping? Well, yes, but hopefully that works out. Unfortunately, getting beavers way out here to build this stuff is very slow. But there's nothing better I can do right now. At this point, we just kind of got to sit and wait. So what options do I have for capping a hole like this? I don't know if I can put platforms inside the hole and then build impermeable floor on top of those platforms. If that would stop water from coming up from below. If it does, then that's a solution, but we will need metal for that. So that's not a nearby solution for sure. Also, I should kind of replace those dams with floodgates so we can close them completely and fill this fuller before the drought hits. But anyway. Depth sensor, contamination sensor is what we really need. We need gears and metal for that. Okay. You need gears even for the simple lever. Okay, we're not doing any automation for a little while then. That's fine. For now, you can only use platforms with impermeable tiles or with a levee on top. Yeah. Okay. If that stops water from flowing up from below, then we can cap this easily. Overhangs might work. I'd have to try them at least. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not doing anything related to that for a while. This is coming along. That's good. I wish I could set these to go kablooey on their own, or manually trigger them. Because if I could manually trigger that, that would solve a lot of my problems. I would still need to make some fixes over there, but it's nothing I... Well, actually it would be a kind of a big problem because it would blow out that tile, which I need to be there for now. One way or another, that any fixes I put in down there is going to be strongly temporary. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Okay, in the meantime, what do we need to do around the old base? Well, what we need to do is we need to get cranking on the next tier of stuff, namely gears. So let's go ahead and grab a gear workshop. Put it right there. That gets us some basic gears. How much power do you use? 120. And you use 75. And I'm not sure how much this can provide. I should have checked when it was flowing. Could provide up to 120 horsepower per... Well, let's add a second wheel. It won't hurt anybody. And I'll put some levees there to help direct the water through the wheels a little better. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and run wheels across the whole thing. Boom. Okay, the center dried out. That's fine. It'll be reflooded before we lose anything, I think. Well, we might lose some kohlrabi, but that's not a big issue. Okay. Put in some more flow directing levees. Excavating. Tunnel. Ooh. Tunnels through terrain replacing with a platform. Use the layer tool to see under... Okay, this is very, very important to me. Being able to do this will save us a lot of trouble. It's very expensive. And we need chemicals. Which we're going to need anyway for making dynamite. No, dynamite's made directly from bad water. Okay. Okay. Centrifuge is what we need here. Takes a lot of power for that. Okay, anyway. Yeah, we're gonna have TNT well before we have that. Ooh, this is gonna blow. Explodes in 10 days. Ugh. Okay, well. We knew we were gonna have to do this sooner or later. That's going to blow. We're going to get a big fountain of bad water down here. It should land in this and then flow back out that way, where it will run into the existing bad water and make a big mess out there we don't have to worry about. I might put some splash guards in here. Yeah, that's the only one that reports it's active. When this one goes, we've got a much bigger problem. And I should probably start building levees across here now in order to reduce that issue. Matter of fact, since this one's coming out... Okay, here, wait a second. Boom. Okay, they are about the same level. Their drains are on the same level. So if we build levees around this one to raise its drain height, that might make all of the bad water come out here. In which case, problem solved. That's a bunch of less contamination. Okay, that's an idea. Let's try that. We need a path up there, though. So that's the future Milo problem. We got to get this done first. This is much more important. Because this over here is to deal with a bad tide. Which is much bigger, much faster approaching issue. Okay, you demolish that. High priority. Hello, Dread. Welcome here. Okay, we're getting 36 horsepower out of this so far, which is not great. Okay. Do I need a splash guard here? I don't think I do. I think it'll just flow. Water shouldn't surge enough to create a problem. I don't think. But definitely before this one goes, we've got to be up here and be working on that. At a minimum, we need a U shape or an L shape of levees around it. Keep the water from flowing off that end. When this is about to go, we need a big L shape of levees over here. Yeah, we gotta be proactive about these things. Else there will be pain. I think our best bet to get up top is going to be I need to unlock the double platform. Okay. We need to get up here for stuff on the roof of that anyway. Man, spiral stairs are expensive. But also I want them very badly because it would save me a lot of trouble right here. Oh well. We don't have them. That's just the way it is. Okay, then we need a double platform with a thing on top of it there. And that gets us up to the top of this cliff. Which gets us over to here. Like that. Like that. Like that. And then that'll do it, I guess. Okay, hopefully we can close these floodgates and that'll cause the water to stop coming out here and start coming up over here. Is the theory. And just in case that doesn't actually work, we have these blocks here to... Okay, unstable core, 3 days, it's us one. We know that's planned for. Should already be solved. That's why these dams are here. Unfortunately, dams are not one way. So we're going to want to put floodgates on the downstream side so we can close that during a bad tide. To prevent water from flowing back into here. Or bad water. Yeah, we got some pretty major contamination there we'll have to deal with soon. Okay, meanwhile, how are things going down this way? Well, that's how they're going, except they haven't deleted any of that plant yet, but that's fine. Give that a high priority. Hopefully that'll lure random beavers out there to take care of that. Yep, there we go. Because I need to remove those two blockages at some point before too long. And more importantly, I need access to this area for later. If that blows up, we need to be able to get over there. to work on this area, to reseal this so we don't lose all our water back home. Okay. Alright, we've got some fairly major engineering projects. We just kind of need to kick back and let them work. How are we doing food-wise? Not very well, that's how we're doing. Okay. We do have berries. Enough that that's not an issue. It's not an emergency, but why is the kohlrabi going down? Okay, whatever. Yeah, at this point we just need to kick back and let them build. Boom. No, don't flood everything. Okay, good. It only flooded a little. And there we go, the water's flowing outward again. Okay, minor disruptions. It's definitely not great, but we can live with it. And here comes a drought. Okay. Drought, not a problem. What will be a problem is if we can't close these, because this will start flowing faster. We can go back up top and cap this back off now, though. We don't need to, but we can. Can one of you bastards remove this damn tree? They're really not very excited about removing that tree so I can get to... I think we're out of planks again, but that's fine. Okay, you go there. Okay. I really hope this works, because that'll solve a huge amount of our problems if we can just keep directing bad water out of there. Then we need to solve this problem. And that'll solve another big chunk of bad water, future bad water problems. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the gear workshop. I set this to 4 workers, but low priority. That should work for now. Now, we don't need the gear workshop running at the moment because I fired all, or I'm not actually using gears yet. Eventually we'll start using them and then I don't have to worry about it. Okay, anyway. So I'm tempted to pop this down here open during the drought if I can. Which I'm going to need... Oh, let's see. 10 planks to do that. I should maybe order them to stop building things with planks so we can let some build up. But also I don't want to because we need to keep this stuff going. It's a bit of a priority to keep this stuff going. Okay, what are you complaining about? Oh, he's injured. Can I get the fixes for that without spending too much? Yes, yes I can. We actually have plenty of science points at the moment. So that's good. Actually, no, I don't want to put these here. Jam them in there underneath the... yeah, we'll jam that in there. That's fine. Okay, what I want to put over here is collection thingies for the mangrove fruits. Gatherer flags. Prioritize mangrove fruits. Boom. I don't remember... Can be eaten raw. Yeah, okay, good. That'll solve a lot of our nutrition issues. Not that we really had any, but... it'll prevent nutrition issues from becoming nutrition issues. There we go. So yeah, in a couple droughts, we should be able to get up here and seal that again. Just right now, it's not a priority, so I don't care. Over here is much bigger priority. Down here is much bigger priority. Everywhere but over here is much bigger priority. This is a much bigger priority. This could be extremely dangerous to us. If that goes, it's 3-alarm beaver's hair is on fire emergency. And I'm not sure if I could solve it quickly. Because we must not let bad water pour into there. And we must not let bad water pour down through here. So the only thing we really can do about a explosion here is wait for it to happen and cap it off quickly and hope it doesn't create issues. And it would need to be capped off with at least 2 tile, if not 3 tile tall levees. I think 2 tile will be enough. I think that's the bad water that flows out this way. If I go place a levee around this. Okay, basically what we need to do is that. We could go a little closer, actually. Anything I can do to make this cheaper, we need to do, because... okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not actually going to connect this up to any actual stuff over there yet. Just gonna go ahead and order the stuff made, but not actually let them do it yet. That way when this blows, we can correct the issue, or when it's going to, when I have time, preferably before it starts threatening to blow, we can go fix that. This one doesn't matter as soon as we can get this built. It can blow whenever, I don't care. We just need to get all this bullshit made and then we can fix that problem. Alright, anyway. Yeah, we have some food in stock. It's not like a huge amount. I'm not worried about running out of food right away. Like, it's pretty obvious we can supply the number of beavers we have. But we're not building up massive stockpiles. We're building up moderate stockpiles. They fluctuate up and down some. Okay. Now. I don't want to uncap that during a drought, on second thought, because if I do, it'll drain the entire lower area here, and then it'll take forever to fill back up after a drought. And I want this upper works to be completed so I can close it and trap water in the upper area, and then we can uncap that. But anyway. We're going to lose a few kohlrabi, but I don't think we'll lose anything else to the drought. And that's fine. Losing a few kohlrabi is not an issue. We really could... Honestly, the kohlrabi fields are larger than what we can keep up with one farmhouse, I think. A second farmhouse would probably do more than anything else for our food. But we don't need it right now. We're still good. And we don't have enough workers to run a full farmhouse anyway. You'd have to steal some from the district center, and right now I want the district center working full time so we can get stuff built. Construction's held up by the fact that we don't have any planks, but that's an issue that we can resolve. I'm going to go ahead and build a plank storage there. I'm going to turn this into a gear storage. No, wait, that gears can't be stored there. Okay, you can go away then. You'll be a plank storage, so we have a few more available for construction. Like, that small storage was never permanent. I was just worried about running out of wood at the time I built it, so I didn't want to build too many planks. But now we have plenty of wood, so that's not an issue. Okay, speaking of things that aren't an issue. We can't set priorities on that. That's fine, I guess. Drought ended. Okay, good deal. Yeah, we need a lot of planks right now. Gear workshop is is on pause. That's expected and normal. Okay. I really wanted these done before the end of the drought, but that's fine. Plank shortages ensured that wasn't going to happen. It doesn't look like we're going to have huge trouble with backflow of bad water. Because it doesn't fill that much faster than the reservoir here. Nor does it flow all that strongly through here. So it's not enough to get through the dam. So technically these are unnecessary, I just want them anyway. Yeah, floodgates should be set to 0, that's fine and normal. Alright. Now, this has got to get built. We do have 2 unhoused beavers. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Boom. Stick another barracks on top of this one. Boom. It should still be covered by this shrub then. Get some good old beaver cliff dwellings going. Hello, Soup Stalker. Okay. I have saw your joke and am electing to ignore it. Oh, another unstable core is going. Damn it! Not that one! I can't reach that one anytime within those 8 days. There's no way we're getting over there. Okay, damage control. It's going to be dumping straight into our fresh water source, but downstream of us. That means we need to open this up yesterday. Where's the map didn't look so blocky? It's what's stopping you from trying this game. Try it anyway. It is not as blocky as you might think. Well, it's very blocky, but it's blocky in an important way. If it wasn't blocky, it would not be any fun. Oops. Get out of there, you. Boom. 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 Priority. Very high. Priority. Very high. Priority. Very high. Okay. Alright, that's not going to do anything to save us, but it might help a little. Cancel demolition. You demolish right now. Floodgate. Very high priority. Close the floodgate by default. Okay, so we are draining water out of critical infrastructure. That's just the way things have to be for now. We've got to have the ability to open that up when this boils, because we're going to be dumping bad water straight into our stuff, and we can't have that. Also, just build basic dam across there. It's cheap, it's easy. We need something to at least restrict the water flow through there. Should probably just put levee across there, honestly. Yeah, let's do that actually. Levee's even cheaper than dams anyway. Okay. Have you guys sealed this yet? Come on, hurry your asses up. Okay, a mistake was made. To be fair, it was a dumb mistake. By opening that up, now we cut off our power. And we don't have the power to make the planks we need. Damn it. That's really annoying, actually. I need to delete some plank using stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have any deletable plank using stuff that won't be massively disruptive. Well, there is a different solution we can use. Okay, build that as quickly as possible. Actually, I want to change all of this stuff to be medium priority. That can remain high priority for now. Our water is going down. Okay, we might have screwed up too much to recover easily. Damn it, bad water's getting in now. I can close that and solve that problem immediately. Yeah, it's very important that this get sealed back up down here. But also it's very important that that be able to be opened immediately because we're about to have bad water dumped into it. So, I don't know. Things are going to shit. That's almost as important as the gate at the bottom. To have this up here, these 5 done, or 4 done. Okay, we've got power to this again. We can make planks. Please, please, please go build this quickly. Yeah, here they come. 3, beavers. This needs to be built second, please. Thank you. I was really hoping I could get this done before that went, but there's no way. So we're gonna have to count on the second. Okay, that needs one more plank, which should happen in the morning, hopefully. So it looks like we will have at least some way to let some water out of the bottom before massive issues arise. Okay, there's the plank we need. Okay, stop wasting planks on that, damn it. Okay, actually that's good. They can now work on the levees, which just take logs, which we have plenty of. Okay. This is built. That's sealed. That means we'll have water back up here. And we'll be able to pause the power wheel here in a second. 3 days till the core goes. That's fine. This should fill back up now. The levees up here are getting built. That's good. Okay, a bunch of mangroves died. That's not a problem. They'll just get replanted. We are out of water, which is a problem. Why are you not filling? It's not flowing out over here anymore. Surely it didn't get that low. It should be filling this back up. Much faster than that. Damn it. Where is the water running? The only outflow is right here. Ugh. We might lose everybody to running out of water before, because it's taking so long to fill this up. Damn it. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's a big problem. Fill faster, you piece of shit. And why is water still flowing that direction? There's no outflow over there. I double checked. That's all sealed. This is sealed. I definitely should have gotten the pumps up top here earlier. It's very close to overtopping finally, though. We're definitely not going to lose everybody, even if some people do die of thirst. Okay, we can start pumping now. Come on, pump. Pump for your lives. Everybody go get water. Don't you dare start pumping, you scumbags. Okay. Immediate crisis averted. This has been sealed, so that immediate part of the immediate crisis is averted. Boom goes the core. This immediately starts filling. Thankfully it's blocked by this. We're going to lose a ton of shit over here if we don't solve it better than that, but it's not instant. This is being flooded, and it's going to start flowing up over here, isn't it? Okay, now we got to open this up. Look at that, we're getting nasty shit welling out of there. Open that up. Yeah, that's a big problem. Look at that. And we're going to have a drought soon, and we are in no way, shape, or form ready for a drought. This one blowing up when it did was an issue, for sure. Okay, the good news, however, such as it is that we don't actually need to build all this to hold the line anymore. We can go with a much cheaper, much smaller setup. Actually, no. That won't work. It'll almost work. That should work. No. No, it won't. It's got to be up to there. Okay, so the first level, we'll block this, and we'll overtop into here. The second level, it'll overtop both ways. And then third level, will be what we need. Okay, so it's a little bit of a cheaper wall. But it's still a bit brutal. Okay. Yeah. This is all full of bad water because it's just flowing in there. Ugh. Yeah. It's not flowing out down here fast enough. And even if it was, I don't think that would solve the problem enough. Because the bad water flow is so much higher. Alright. Let's go back a few saves. Let's see. Cycle 4. Not sure how far back this is. Let's find out. Because with that one blowing up when it did, we need to get over there and we need to block that much sooner than what we did. Which means it's got to be priority number 1. Okay. We can actually save ourselves a lot of work here. by going around that way. Okay. And then we don't have any planks in storage, which is bad, but we'll have to live with it. We are in a drought. So let's build across this using levees because they're cheap. And we are in a massive hurry. Okay. Now. We gotta do this as cheaply as possible. Okay. Very high priority. Very high priority. Very high priority. Okay. Second thing. This is before we opened this lower level. Yeah, let's not do that this time around. We can open it if we have to in a hurry. Alright. We gotta get this built. Preferably yesterday. Don't want to put the temporary power wheel in here, or do we want to just wait for the end of the drought? I think we'll just wait to the end of the drought because we don't need many planks to build this stuff. And I don't want to waste a ton of time building that. I almost forgot to put that in. I'd really like to put a log storage over there and start hauling logs now, but if we could do that, then we could just start building that. Yeah. Can I build a builder's hut? Theoretically, yes. I might as well go ahead and unlock it now. We'll order it built. It's going to take 10 planks. That'll get us builders going faster. I don't have the planks to build it, but that's fine. Once we get the stairs, important stairs built, we'll use planks to build the builder's hut, and we can shove more builders out that way. Alright. Wait for the end of the drought. I really wish I could put a pump there, but we just can't justify it right now. That one's a very mean one to explode next, that's for sure. Like this one, not really a problem. You can easily just fix the problem by removing a couple blockages and let it go downstream. Most of the other major problems that are going to contaminate your water source need 2 to blow to open the path. This one, it's relatively close to your base. It won't be that hard to get to. It doesn't require that many levees to direct away. Not really that big of an issue. This one, long ways away from the base, requires a fairly high dam to fix. And very threatening. Some of them are much harder to fix. Like, if that one and this one blow, we're kind of hosed. There's not really a whole lot we can do to get down there. At least not in a reasonable amount of time. And that opens us to this whole area, which I'm not sure where the contamination is coming from for this. It looks like it's coming from this way somewhere. Oh, there we go. Bad water source right here. Could we cap that? No, not really. We would have to do some serious excavation to get down to that bad water source and cap it. If that one blew, yeah, okay, those are the problem ones. So we'd have to dig down over here somewhere, which is non-trivial. But if I could seal this channel right here, it would remove a lot of pressure. Well, I'd remove these two as a problem. But to do that, we got to dig down over here, which is going to be hard to get to and hard to dig down to. We don't need, well, we do need the speedrun explosives, but we also need to speedrun tunneling and some other shit, probably. Yeah. Okay, drought's over. Planks should start flowing again. That stairs needs to get built. That levee needs to get built. That's going to blow in 11 days. We can't build this in 11 days. But we got to try. Oh. And the game crashed. Okay, what is using all my memory? Vivaldi, why are you using 2 point some gigabytes per tab? What is your problem? Yes, I'd really like to exit Vivaldi. What the hell? Holy shit. I need to get a different web browser. Okay. Well, Steam was murdered by the Linux kernel because too much memory is being used, when really it was Vivaldi's fault. Oh well. That's a pretty good indicator that I should probably quit, because it is 10:30 anyway. Speaking of Vivaldi, that browser, I switched to it from Opera because supposedly it's better than Opera. It's not. It's way worse. It's a crashy, memory consuming piece of shit, which considering it's a Chrome based browser is kind of interesting because every other Chrome based browser I've used doesn't have those issues. So I'm not sure what special wrinkle they're doing that makes it so that it eats its own sessions. It doesn't close and reopen cleanly. I don't know. It's trash. I need a different browser. Anyway, that's a future Milo problem. At this point, I have changing browsers down to a science. Figured out how to move all my tabs over, all that stuff. So I suppose I'll have to do that again. Tomorrow we will play more beavers. Probably. And hopefully we will figure out a solution to the imminent bomb problem. Because, yeah. Of all the ones they could have picked to go off that would create problems for us, that one is the biggest of the problems. It is the one I identified as the most dangerous, even before it decided to explode. Like some of them would be harder to deal with in the long term, but would be like the ones underground would be the second biggest problem, I guess. Because those go off, we're just screwed. Nothing we can do. Don't have the tech to even get down there in time. But anyway, so hopefully those are a far off future issue. Thursday, we will be playing XCOM. For sure. I mean, I don't see a world where I won't play XCOM on Thursday. I guess it is always possible. Friday, of course, will be EDF. Same way. I don't see a world where I don't play it, but you never know. And then I'm not sure about the weekend. I would really like to do Valheim, but also if something's happening in leagues, maybe. We'll see. And we'll let next week happen as we get to it, I suppose. Yeah. Hopefully, I see you all back here tomorrow for probably Beaver shenanigans, and if not, League shenanigans. And I will see you all later. Good night, and goodbye.